Alright, so I got asked this question earlier today in the My Body Blends community, and this is something I really want to be able to answer for you now, but I'm also going to want to dive into the biggest myths and mistakes that I keep seeing guys make when it comes to burning fat, building shape, and really being able to get into the body that you want without the confusion. Because one of the most common mistakes I keep seeing guys make when it comes to getting in great shape is following a plan that's made for women. As you being a guy, you need to be able to balance your out hormones, which is going to include maximizing your testosterone and also being able to follow a plan that's going to suit you, your lifestyle, your metabolism as well. And really what's coming about is so many guys are obsessing about their weight. They're looking at the scale weight and they're thinking that's the be all and end all when it comes to them getting in shape, when completely it's them forgetting about being able to maximize muscle, being able to avoid muscle catabolism and having a strong metabolism so you can optimize your body composition, which is really about losing body fat and having the muscle tissue that you want as well. The second big mistake so many guys are making is eating like a physique model or a pro bodybuilder, going to the magazines, going to the popular sites and following plans written from guys that have really got nothing to do with what's going to suit you. Because when guys are doing things, living lifestyles, taking things that you're not, that isn't going to be able to work for you. And especially when it comes down to so many guys think they're needing to eat 6-7 meals a day, they're needing to train 60-90 minutes every single day, when so much of the time this is causing you to be confused about what's going to work, and it could be too hard for you to try to follow, which really means it's not going to be a plan that's going to work for you for the long term. And so much of the time it's coming not from a coach's point of view. You could be flicking through social media and landing on what other dudes are eating when they're in great shape, and absolutely kudos to them. But does that relate to you and what you need to be doing? And then the third big mistake is guys wanting to be able to build muscle, build shape, and not being lean enough to actually do so. The actual fact of when you start dropping your body fat, you get in better shape, you're going to be able to increase your insulin sensitivity. You're actually going to have a better hormonal profile, a better environment where your body is going to be able to build muscle tissue much easier. So much of the time, the plain simple fact is guys are usually too fat to be very effective at building more muscle. So this is also why I like using a zigzag method with clients. We can go really easily into building muscle, getting leaner, and then over the long term, you're able to get in great shape, building much more muscle and staying lean the whole time, which is also great because you can have better confidence with yourself throughout the time because you are in better shape, you are feeling better about yourself. But on an actual hormonal profile, you're going to be much better at being able to build muscle tissue. So let's start with Andrew's question right now, especially diving into the diet side of things of what you need to be able to do to optimize your body composition. And that's really going to be about what do we need to do to get you burning fat, accelerating your fat loss, and building muscle tissue in your shape as well. So starting with protein, this is why I've set up the PVFC meal model, starting with protein and making sure that you are getting enough. Now, if you're going into the deep end of things and you're wanting to look at the grams of how much you're eating, we can start with about 1.2 grams per pound of body weight of where you're at. Now, if you're not going down that, and if you've been following My Body Blends for a little while now, you know that we also use a simpler method of being able to portion control your meals so you know that you're getting the right amounts of the food in. And this is simply making sure that you're getting 2 palms worth of protein in each meal and looking at about 4 to 5 meals a day. And as I'm walking you through this, coaching you through how to set up your diet, how to progress your diet, also with your training, your supplements, and the whole holistic lifestyle, how to maximize your results, the reason and the basis of one of the foundations is making sure that we optimize your hormonal environment, especially things for yourself such as testosterone, insulin, and also cortisol. And that's why the next step before jumping into the carb equation is what's going on with your fats, making sure that you are getting adequate amounts of fats throughout the day from the right sources as well. Because fats are so critical to being able to actually synthesize and create your hormones. So we want to be able to give your body the cholesterol, the building blocks that it needs so it can optimize, it can be able to actually build testosterone and all the other important hormones that you need. So once you've gone through, you've set your protein up, you set your fats up, you're making sure you're getting that in, then we can start looking at your carbs. And this is where I want to bring to you the point of your carb tipping point, being able to eat as many carbs as you can, but still being able to accelerate and maximize your fat loss. As so much of the problem is, people, and especially guys, are starting to become carbophobes, not wanting to be able to eat carbs because they've heard, well, the more carbs you eat, the more insulin that you produce, and then the more fat gain that you can be prone to. And I want to clear this away. I want to be able to get you maximizing your carb intake, maximizing your food intake, being smart with your training to really optimize your results. Because when it comes to your carbohydrates, we want to be able to use it in a smart way. We want to be able to use the anabolic effects so it helps you be able to build muscle tissue. It can also do things to actually help you with satiety and being satisfied from meals, but obviously not overdoing it, not going over that tipping point that's actually going to help accelerate fat gain. So when it comes to your carbohydrate intake, we can look at the amount, we can look at the type of carbs, and we can also look at the timing of the carbs. Now, when it comes to the actual amount of carbohydrates you want to be eating, firstly, let's look at the type of carbohydrates. Let's look at your actual food choices, because this can make so much of a difference without having to get into nitty-gritty details or looking at the numbers. So I'm going to pop a list below of the actual foods that I recommend would be your best starting food choices when it comes to your carbohydrates. Really looking at things such as sweet potato, quinoa, pumpkin, rice. These are the things that are going to help you keep satisfied. They can also be sure to be nutrient dense as well, to be giving you the vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, fiber, the things that you need so your body's able to thrive. And then we can be looking at the timing, the nutrient timing of carbohydrates as well. Now, I've gone in depth just on this topic alone, but I want to cover this for you here right now. This is why we also need your training and your nutrition to be working together. If you're not having a plan that actually has your training and nutrition synergized, then this is where you can have a really big missing link, a part of the plan. So what we want to be able to do is use your training, especially your weight training, because this is one of the best factors that you have to be able to up your insulin sensitivity, to be able to prime your muscles to suck in the glycogen, to suck in the carbohydrates that you eat as well, and to be able to avoid it going to fat cells. So this is where you can start placing your carbohydrates firstly after your weight training sessions, and a general progression of what you want to be able to go through. And really why I want to give you this episode now is so you have a really good starting base to be able to jumpstart your results, but then know what steps you need to take after it. And this is where if you start including carbohydrates, those starchy carbohydrates, those fruit carbohydrates, post your weight training session. Now, you don't need to go racing straight after your very last rep in the gym, straight down to dump a protein shake and start eating some carbs. That's not the thing. You can give yourself some time. It's okay. The window of time is much larger than so many people think. But this is really, you want to be able to use this window of time. You want to jump in this post-workout window to include your carbohydrates. Then what you can do is you can include carbs in the meal after that, but also you can include carbs in the meal before it. So this completely depends on when you're training. If you're training in the PM, this can work fantastic. You could train in the afternoon, and then your last 2 meals for the day could be carbohydrates with your proteins and your veggies as well, which means the beforehand is going to be your proteins, your fats, and your vegetables. So we can look at this into splitting your day into 2 parts. What's going to be metabolic, so where are you going to be wanting to focus on burning fat, and what's going to be anabolic, where's that focus where you're going to want to be recovering from your weight training session and being able to maximize your muscle tissue growth. And this is where so many guys are coming to a big mistake of actually undereating, simply not eating enough. Yes, we do want to be in a calorie deficit to be able to lose weight, burn fat, but so much of the time there's too much of an emphasis on trying to be in too much of a calorie deficit and forgetting about the quality of your nutrition. And this is where we can make it so much simpler for you to be able to have that quality. Then we can look at the quantity, because the quantity side's really easy. You don't need to be getting your calorie tracking app out the whole time. You don't need to be doing the mental math, because firstly, when you look at the quality of nutrition, things can start falling into place for you. And so just like I said before, the importance is also going to come into your training. Having smart workouts. You don't need to be dragging your ass out of the gym every single day, but you do need to be able to create the environment, the stimulus where your body's going to want to be able to burn fat. It's going to want to be able to build muscle from the hard work that you are putting in the gym. And this is where I recommend at least 4 weight training sessions per week. I honestly believe from over 10 years of coaching people, if you can't dedicate 4 sessions, then you're really not that serious about your health and getting into the shape that you want. I've seen so much a difference between someone wanting to do 2 sessions a week to someone wanting to do 4 sessions a week plus. So this is where it can suit you and your lifestyle as well. Being able to set up the schedule so you are able to make the workouts. Now, not every workout has to be in the gym. If you can't make the gym 4 times plus a week, then that's okay. You can still get some workouts done at home and in travel. We've done this all the time with clients. But this is where we want to be able to look at your training sessions being based around and designed around the big bang for your buck movement. So much of the times, and look, I'm all for it. Let's get the curls in, let's feel good about that. But we want to be able to base your workouts around the big bang for your buck movements. These are going to be your squats, your deadlifts, your presses, your pulls. These are going to be the exercises using your big muscle groups, getting multi-joint movements, and being able to get you getting more work done in less time in your training sessions. And then it comes to your cardiovascular work, and too much of the time there is just way too much stuff out there these days when it comes to you needing to do high intensity interval training. A lot of the time this can actually be way too much. Now, if you're a young 20s dude, if you're able to recover really well from your workouts, then adding in HIIT work and doing a couple of sessions of high intensity interval training can work really well from you. But for a lot of guys, especially say late 20s, 30s, 40s, you're not going to be able to recover as well from your workouts. And especially in things start creeping up into work responsibilities, life responsibilities, family responsibilities. You've got a bit of stress going on. Your sleep might not be fantastic. And what we can do is actually start low and then build high. This is a concept that I use with new members coming on board, and it's able to get them really quick results, but sustainable results as well. So starting off with cardio, this could simply be walking. This could be going for a surf. This could be doing something that doesn't have to be slogging it out. And obviously, as we build your body up, as your physiology can handle it, then we can start using the methods that are going to suit you. But this really comes about to what's going to suit you and your body. I cannot give you a black and white answer right now. This video, this episode is going to be seen by a very broad range and a big number of males, and I want to be able to give you the right advice. This is what we're really doing here. This is what I want to give you with the My Body Blends episode. So you've got a great starting base from what we've covered right now. You know some progression steps. So if you're starting out with some cardio, it could just be 3 sessions a week of 20 minutes of walking. You can up the duration of it, or you can up the intensity of it. You might want to be able to do, say, 1 high intensity interval session a week. See how you recover from that. But importantly, always bringing it back down to how are you feeling, and most importantly, how are you progressing? Are you getting leaner? Are you building muscle? And then you can start taking the right steps forward. Because a big part of this is being able to maximize your recovery as well, because sleep and stress are so important when it comes into how your body is functioning and what it can handle. So let's look at sleep first. This is the first lifestyle factor that I start with all members, and it has a profound impact to being able to accelerate your results. And I'm not talking about the quantity of sleep. Again, let's go to the quality side of things. Let's make sure that we get you great quality sleep, then being able to make the most of it. Then if we can include half an hour more, an hour more, kind of getting to that 7.5, 8 hours mark per night, fantastic. But I've seen much bigger improvements being able to focus on the quality first. And this could be such things as setting up, okay, what's that evening routine? What are you doing in that half an hour, that hour before you go to bed? If we start making a few tweaks, if we start winding you down, not having to watch TV right up until you go to bed, a few things can make a really profound difference. And there's going to be a full episode on this coming up, so do make sure to subscribe so you're not going to miss out on it. Alright, then there is what we call in My Body Blends bridging the nutrition gap, and your supplements, because so many guys are really concerned about what's the best supplements you're taking, what's the best fat burner. Okay, firstly, let's cover that right now. Let's not go down the route of trying to choose a fat burner and which the best one is. A lot of the time, it's just not going to give you that real results that you think it's going to. This is why we start with a foundation stack. Simply, 2 supplements to be able to fix and bridge your nutrition gap right now. And that's really filling the holes from what you're not being able to get in your day-to-day diet. Firstly, we start with the superfood greens, and that's where we have the superfood elixir. And then secondly, it's the omega-3 fish oil fats, the essential fatty acids that you can't get from your body, so you need to be able to take it in. So these are 2 items that we call the foundation stack that really bridges the holes on what's going on. Then we can move on to things such as what's going to improve gut health, what is going to decrease inflammation, and then what is going to increase your metabolism. Now, you might say, okay, why am I not talking about fat burners? Because so much of the rage is let's jump on the fat burners, let's jump on all these really highly strung, highly marketed supplements that really, if you boil it down, aren't giving you the results that you want. I'm focusing on what are the nutrients that your body needs to be able to then accelerate the results. So, for example, why I said gut health. Gut health is so important because it's going to be able to help you absorb and assimilate the foods that you're eating. And it also has so much of an impact on your hormones and your neurotransmitters. And then looking into inflammation. As we start to decrease your inflammation, it's going to be able to actually increase your insulin sensitivity. It's going to be able to increase the amount of carbohydrates you're going to be able to eat, and it's going to increase your body's ability to burn body fat. So this is really bringing about to the truth, because I know it's not the sexy answer. I'm not saying here's the one pill that you can take right now and you're going to start shedding off the fat like crazy. It ain't going to happen like that. And if you want that, go to some other channel, watch some other video. I'm not here for it. So now it's time for you to get stuck into this. Now it's time for you to take action on yourself and where you're going to be able to use everything. Are you going to be able to use the PVFC meal model? Make sure at each meal you're easily being able to have the proteins, the veggies, the fats, have the right timing of the carbohydrates, have the right food sources of your carbohydrates, and then you're going to be able to look at things such as your training, getting the right weight training, the smart workouts in, then looking at recovery. Are you being able to get the right sleep quality rather than looking at just quantity first, and then taking the right nutrients in, making sure you are taking the supplements that are going to give you the results that you want and not waste your money as well. So this is going to be an episode just starting the conversation about what's going to get you into great shape. So what I want you to be able to do is click the link below, join the My Body Blends community. This is simply the free group where I personally come in every single day to read and to reply. And this is where Andrew's question came from. And if you're wanting the heads up, if you're wanting to get in the know and ahead of the pack, then I want you to join us so you can get the answers, get the help, and become of the tribe as well. And so much of what I've been talking about in this episode for you is helping you individualize having a plan for yourself that's going to be able to work. And the best step that I've set up for free is the My Body quiz. Simply, you're able to go through a quick questionnaire that's going to be 60 seconds or even less, and then it's going to be able to give you what's going to suit you, what's going to be the diet, the training, what's going to be the coaching that you're going to be able to need that's going to give you the best results that you're looking for. So thank you so much for being here. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. And as always, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. Now it's time for you to get the most out of this and comment below. This is where I will personally come in and give you the answers that you need. And as always, the best discussions happen over at mybodyblends.com. This is where I can give you all the guides, programs, and insights that I can't fit in these episodes. Plus the free diets and workouts are there waiting for you now. And if you did like this episode, then be sure to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode and I can send them straight to you. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon here and in the My Body Blends only community.